we'll see how this goes. But the video that I had planned this week, I felt I could not do justice with the time of my life that I am in, with being in the middle of a move and the fact that it's near the holidays and we'll be traveling for the holidays and things. So I decided to change up my plans a little bit. And my reading journey so far, I discovered that Jane Austen's birthday, it was this last week. And so in honor of that, I decided that I would be rereading Pride and Prejudice, or at least I thought I was rereading it. I am not sure that I actually have read it. I know I kind of started it and could not really get into it in ninth grade, I think. And then at a later time in high school, I thought I had read it, but for some reason, I cannot for the life of me remember certain parts of it. And some of that is how horrible Mr. Bennet is. So the main character of this book is Elizabeth Bennet. Her father is Mr. Bennet, and he treats his wife poorly, in my opinion. Never outright, he just kind of really knows how to push her buttons, and it kind of drives me crazy. So that was not my favorite. I also really don't like Mr. Darcy at the beginning, but I feel like you're not supposed to, of course, because he's supposed to be this prideful, high and mighty person, but Elizabeth is also high and mighty. So hopefully he gets better later on in the book. The book is 12 and a half hours for the audiobook, so I am kind of shocked. I am maybe an hour and a half into it, or maybe 2 hours now. I know I'm on chapter 12 or 13. The chapters are nice and short in Pride and Prejudice, which does make it nice. I do like that you do get some of Darcy's point of view. With at least the movie adaptation that I typically went to, it was my mom's favorite, was the Keira Knightley version. It came out in 2005. So, I mean, obviously it was 20 years ago. But it is strictly from an outside perspective. You don't really get inner monologue or inner dialogue for the main characters, and you can in a book, so that makes it much better, I feel like, and makes it much more interesting. I'm really glad I'm listening to it, because I get to do things around the house and pack and do all of that while I'm listening and being productive. So I will continue to update, and hopefully I will be able to get this all edited together and out for you guys on time, and I will see you there. So today I'm going to be listening to Pride and Prejudice while I will excuse you. When my husband gets home, he will grab a U-Haul, pack everything up, and we will be heading across town so that we can move into the house that we're moving into. All right, I'm about to start more editing for the video that will come out later this week, but I wanted to give a short update. I'm about 37% of the way through Pride and Prejudice. I've been listening to a bunch of it while I have been packing stuff up and doing laundry and dishes and things to, get everything going. But yeah, the more that I think about it, the more I am positive I read this book and even annotated it for a class in high school. So I'm confused why I did not remember the beginning of the book. But anyway, some thoughts that I had while I was listening this morning as best I could while doing other things and keeping my kids from killing each other. I'm sure you know the feeling if you're a parent of multiple kids. Some thoughts that I had, the longer I think about it, the more I believe that Charlotte Lucas did it on purpose. That she put herself in Mr. Collins' life and presented herself to him with the intent of trying to get a marriage proposal from him. Because of some of the things that are said, there is a really interesting video done by a Jane Austen. I don't really want to call her a fanatic, but her whole channel is about Jane Austen and explaining stuff that has to do with her book, the time period and things like that. It's very interesting. But she has a video all about how Charlotte Lucas is kind of crafty and is doing it on purpose. And I have to agree after listening to this part of the book again, where, the Collins, Mr. Collins proposals have happened. Obviously, Caroline Bingley as well is not a very nice person. She's very full of herself and she's interesting. She also comes from like higher society. The issue is her brother is so kind. Mr. Bingley is so kind. Why can't Caroline Bingley be kind? Is it because she was kind of shunned by Mr. Darcy? Who knows? But the way she treats Jane and Elizabeth, but more so Jane, is kind of abhorrent. By the way, Jane is Elizabeth's older sister, widely regarded as one of the most beautiful in their little town, and so it was believed that Mr. Bingley would propose to her and then he's brought away. So I'm gonna get to editing and I won't be listening to the book while I'm editing. I need to focus on editing so that I can get all of my stuff cranked out because the video is supposed to come out tomorrow and I am like barely into editing. So into editing the video and I need to upload to YouTube and everything. And even more so, I've only got like an hour and a half before my daughter wakes up, and technically she hasn't even gone to sleep yet though. I gotta get started. So I've been listening to Pride and Prejudice while I've been unpacking, or my husband and I have been unpacking the moving truck, and now that that's done, I've been working on loading up the fridge and freezer. Something that I noticed was, you remember when I said I didn't really like Mr. Bennet because he was not very nice to his wife? Well, Elizabeth acknowledges it later on in the book. I was about 60% of the way through, I think, when she acknowledged it. And she was like, yeah, it's not a great match. They're not a great couple, but he's a good dad to me. But honestly, he's not even a great dad to the other Bennet girls. Maybe Jane, but the other girls, he just doesn't know how to handle them. They're too much like their mother. All right, I was unpacking my books and I was also listening to I was doing lots of unpacking today, and I was listening to some videos by the person I mentioned earlier who goes over some of the like nuances of Jane Austen's books. And I remember her name now. Her name is Ellie Dashwood. Her channel name is Ellie Dashwood. And she brought up some really good points about Mr. Bennet, which of course is what I had been talking about, that he's not that great of a person. But she also brought up some of the reasoning why, and it's literally because Mrs. Bennet is a floozy. Like, she is ridiculous as well, and so he kind of gave up. But it was his responsibility to make sure that his daughters were not the same way as his wife, and instead he dumped them on his wife, and she couldn't do it, and so only the older two daughters ended up being able to be in society as like normal, gentle women, and the three younger daughters were completely improper and had no sense of propriety, and was the reason why Jane was broken up with in the first place. But yeah, and obviously their mother as well, Mrs. Bennet. But Mr. Darcy specifically says, even on occasion, your father showed impropriety. And so, yeah, I was right, based off of my very quick listening at double speed for the beginning of the book. And yeah, so I'm gonna hurry and finish the last 20% of the book while I finish unpacking my house. I just finished listening to Pride and Prejudice, and yeah, I think the ending is fine, but I think there's a little bit to be desired. The last half chapter ended up opening a lot of storylines that I just think it might have been better if she'd left closed. But it was nice to hear that Elizabeth was happy. It was nice to hear that Jane was happy. And it was nice to hear that Lydia was getting her comeuppance. And then speaking to my opinion of Mr. Bennet, I still think he's a sorry excuse for a father and a man in that time period.
The officers will find women better worth their notice. Let us hope, therefore, that her being there may teach her her own insignificance. At any rate, she cannot grow many degrees worse without...
But he does get a little better in the sense that he doesn't let Kitty go and visit Lydia. So I guess there's that, and it's a good thing. So I think I've got a drop of water on my glasses because I can see like a little droplet. Hate that. Anyway, yeah, so happy, I can't even remember how many years it is for Jane Austen, but happy, I think it's 250. Pride and Prejudice is definitely my favorite Jane Austen movie or adaptation movie that I have seen, but I also haven't seen all of them, of course, because Pride and Prejudice was my mom's favorite. We saw Pride and Prejudice and Emma and Sense and Sensibility. Sense and Sensibility is pretty good though. You can't really go wrong with Emma Thompson and, oh, I just blanked on the guy's name. The guy who plays Colonel Brandon. Anyway, you can't really go wrong with that. Oh, and Kate Winslet plays Marianne. And yeah, it's pretty good. I do like watching modernized adaptations. There's a couple that I really like, and I will probably link them down below in the description. And I do not claim that they have or that they are in any way that similar, other than they follow the general storyline of Pride and Prejudice adaptation, or Pride and Prejudice, oh my gosh, of Jane Austen books. This is the first time I've done a video like this, but I thought it would be a good while I'm moving one, and if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy this one. It is my ranking of Cinderella stories, 21 different Cinderella stories. I enjoyed doing that. I'm a huge Cinderella story fan. I'll see you there.